Hello, guys, and welcome. We are back from hiatus. We have not been on for a little bit. Took a little couple days off here, but I'm back, y'all. Couch Potato Queens are here, and I'm here with Doug today to talk about the challenge. How's it going, Doug?
I'm doing great. It is National Dog Day, and I just took my dog on a walk, and she's just loving life. So, yeah, I'm doing wonderful.
I'm here for that. Happy frickin' Dog Day. Yes,
Yes,
mama.
I
Here
love
for it.
National Dog Day.
I am so excited today. You excited to talk more challenge?
Yes, yes, yes. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
We just have a night tonight. Today we're doing challenge, Big Brother later. It'll be fun. Let's say hi to Sam. Hello, Sam. Ben. We got Sophie. We got Athrella saying hi to Sophie. We've got people. Okay, there we go. Athrella, hi, Josh and Doug. We're here. We're here to slay. Like, there's
We're
just
here.
so much.
Always queer, and we're here.
Always queer. So, overall thoughts on the episode, Doug? What were your thoughts going into it?
I didn't like this episode. I was just bored. I overall feeling I was done with the episode, and I was like, oh, that was it. There really wasn't much intrigue to me. I think we got some good funny moments and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not totally sold on this season yet. I need more conflict. I need more struggle. I don't know. Something's got to change. Maybe once the vets start going after each other, we'll get a little bit more intrigue. And we kind of started to see that a little bit with Tori wanting to go after Big T. But in general, I don't know. I really wasn't feeling this episode. I don't know. How did you feel?
Again, me who's like all into the challenge right now. I've been watching past seasons. I'm now on Fresh Meat. Okay, bringing the meat. It's kind of like a season that brings on a lot of people that were known for a while. It's a good season that I'm on. I'm enjoying the challenge, and I think it was a great episode. I really thought it was good. I mean, like, there was some drama. I wouldn't say it was bad. I think there have been better episodes, but I mean, we did see a couple things that were fun. I mean, I do like a ginger, so I mean,
we got a full dose of ginger in this episode.
We got a full dose of ginger in this episode. We got Mish, and I do like Mish. You know, Tasha being just a boss, unfortunately, didn't work out for her, but still, like, we had some good stuff this episode. I was here for it a little bit, so I wouldn't say it was bad, but it was like, I've had better.
Yeah, I just was a little bit bored. I don't know. It wasn't one of my favorites, but we'll get into it.
For sure. Sam, actually, no, that's Fresh Meat too. I'm on the original Fresh Meat. I'm with like Diem and who else is
yeah.
Denny, Big E, all those people. Some people that are no longer on the challenge anymore for what they did to Tanya. Those people are all on this season too. All right, let's go ahead and get it kicked off just at the start. So we have, why Emmy, chose Devin. She likes Devin, because Devin's a good player. Now, to me, okay, I'm going to bring up Devin right now. Devin is kind of like that player. I'm getting the vibe. Like, he's the one who, like, is he the one, like, Doug, that tries to, like, strong arm everything? Is he that type of player?
He hasn't always been. For a while, Devin was always, like, kind of the odd man out.
Yeah.
And I feel like Devin has kind of taken on, and there for a while, I feel like he was a child of Wes, and he was really trying to play like a Wes type of game.
Yeah.
And so, trying to do a little bit more scheming and game and strategy, but he never really had the numbers to do it. So, yeah, I feel like Devin is a little bit of a poor man's Wes, but in terms of strategy, but in terms of like character, I feel like he brings so much in terms of his just demeanor and personality. So, yeah. But I feel like Wes is a good kind of comparison for the way that he approaches the game and how he usually is.
Okay, so similar to, Wes, I'm watching like I'm actually on the first Wes challenge season right now, but Wes is kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, he's not nice to women. Does he get better to women? Because, like, he wasn't so nice. He was like, he was like telling that girl Casey she's the B word, like he's saying bitch. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like,
yeah, I haven't watched. Well, I take that back. I have watched a few older seasons recently, but yeah, I think he probably progressed with the times a little bit, as did everyone. I think that they were all pretty immature. So I think that some of that is just maturation and growth of his own. And I mean, he'd been doing it for so long, and you're probably watching some of his earlier seasons. Not to excuse his behavior by any means. I'm not trying to do that at all. But yeah, yeah.
Okay, very nice. I'm familiar with that. Okay, yeah. Sam, he had a hothead back in the day, and he seems like he's changed over time. Okay, so it's good that Wes got better. I'm like catching up on these past seasons, so like y'all educate me. I don't even know. Sophie, Josh looks like a librarian with his glasses. I'm giving off my house bunny realness. I'm gonna like go to dinner and pretend to be smart and order the mahi mahi, but just one mahi because I'm not that hungry. That's the vibe that I'm giving today. So no. In all honesty, my eyes are irritated, so I'm wearing glasses for y'all. Okay, for real. So
we love it.
It's all cute. Yeah, Doug. So next we have Ed and Tori combo. Tori really likes Ed's positivity. She's really digging Ed. She thinks Ed's a good partner. And overall, I'm kind of liking Ed for a newbie. He's playing, I think, a good newbie game. He's kind of staying under the radar and letting the vets take over, which I think is the smart way to play a newbie game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought their little cabbage dinner was cute. Very interesting. They were just having this date over a bowl of cabbage. Yeah. But yeah, I think that they have some pretty good chemistry there. I couldn't tell if there was really anything romantic, but I think regardless of any sort of feelings towards each other, that they've got a pretty good chemistry. They're obviously, and it pans out, and we see in this episode, very strong as teammates. And chemistry goes a long way in this game. I think we saw that a lot last season with having pairs. And sometimes you can be very athletic and strong, but if you don't get along with your partner, it's really going to be a detriment to your game. So yeah, I think Ed and Tori are a force to be reckoned with for sure.
Yeah, I think Tori's really, apparently she's this mega player. Tori, I think that, is Tori like good at the social game? Is that something I'll learn about?
Yeah, I don't really think so, to be quite honest. I don't think that Tori's athletic. She always has a target on her back. But I wouldn't say that the social game is one of her strengths, to be quite honest. And I feel like you see that play out in this episode too, because it was a little too early to be going after the vets. I think Tori is very emotion driven. And that oftentimes isn't the best for strategy when you let your emotions get the best of you. And I think that comes out in Tori's game a little bit. So yeah, I don't think that Tori is a social mastermind. I wouldn't say that. And oftentimes she's on the other side of the numbers.
Very nice. Okay, well, I mean, you kind of brought up, I brought up Tori, so let's go into the next thing. We have Big T. She's paranoid right now because of the vets, because of actually last season, Big T apparently, and fill this in for me, Doug. What happened last year with Big T and Tori? What's all the tea from last year? Spill the tea.
Oh, wow. So I'm trying to remember fully, and maybe we need a couple of our guests to help out. But I do remember that Big T did put in Tori versus Anissa into the elimination, and it was pretty early on into the season. So
really,
Big T was paired with CT for quite a while. Mm-hmm. CT was the number one target at the beginning of the season just because he's a huge threat, which is very interesting that nobody's mentioned CT this season yet. Like, CT easily could have went down last week if they wanted to, but I get that they're trying to protect the vets. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Big T's coming out season was last season. That was like her season. She really proved herself. She won a couple eliminations. and really kind of demanded some respect from the rest of the house.
Got it.
But because she's still somewhat newer, she was never really aligned with like the people that have more time.
Yeah.
And towards the beginning, she kind of made that move against Anissa and Tori, which is spilling over into this season.
Okay. Very well. There's definitely some tension between Big T and Tori. If Tori's gonna get her revenge on Big T for what happened last year. Okay, another side thing. Do you notice how like, the newbies are all like the ones working out? Like it's always the newbies. Like they have this little like newbie workout area. Like that's where they all strategize and work out together.
I mean, they work out. I don't know how much strategy they're doing, but they definitely work out.
It's like newbie workout land. Like it's that's what I think. It's always the newbies working out. Like I never see the vets doing it.
Well, they were attending Nelly T's boot camp. Didn't you see that Nelly T was having his boot camp?
Yeah, Nelly T's boot camp. I'm all here for it. I need that. You know.
Would you go to Nelly T's boot camp, Josh?
If I was getting paid. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, I need to get this couch potato queen needs to get off the couch. So why not? Let's do it.
I mean, Nelly T's pretty cute. You don't have to pay me too much to work out.
Right. Travel the world. Thank you for I get the compliment on the glasses. Thank you. Thank you. How are the blinds? Blinds are just as crappy as they were last week. So
we need a weekly blind update.
It's those blinds will get fixed eventually when we want. So
I need to know what size those are. I'm just gonna come over and bring you new blinds.
Of course. No, it's cool. It's all good.
For the betterment of
I'll do blind updates every episode, I promise. I'll do twice a day. When we do Big Brother 9, I'll do it again. Yes, every single time about the blinds. I love it. I just love everything that comes out of Ashley's mouth. I just do. She's funny. We get a little segment about Berna and Nelson that are starting to like maybe hook up. And Ashley's like, I guess Bertha has moved on to Nelson. That's a choice. So now Bertha and Nelson are hooking up. Ashley's making funny comments. I just thought it was funny because it's Ashley. You know, I love her. So
I know you do. It wouldn't be a segment unless we got to talk about your love for Ashley a little bit. So
I know.
I'm sure that won't be the last time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I literally love her. Like, she can live rent-free in my mind. She's iconic. But I need to, like, watch her past seasons, though. I know that she's kind of a mess, so.
Well, yeah. But that'll only make your love grow even stronger for her, I feel.
Oh, will it? I love to hate people, so it's always fun for me. I love it. What are your thoughts on Ashley so far this season? Have we gotten a lot of her? She's been kind of funny, I think, with her little partnership with Huey.
Yeah, no, once we get into the challenge, I really thought that was, and I want more Huey Ashley content because that dynamic I'm here for. Ashley being catty and like being a brat, I'm not, but like Ashley and Huey, sign me up. I would watch that sitcom. I would, yes, give me more Ashley and Huey content.
Oh, for sure. I'm totally here for that. Yes, mama. Bring on the Ashley love. We have Corey L. He's doing a little segment as well that he feels like he's going to be a target every round. He says the rookies outnumber the vets, but the vets have let only rookies go home. Corey really wants to stop this. And, you know, he's in a double vet team right now with Queen Niche. But, like, I'm going into this episode, I would think that Corey L's in trouble right now. And that's sad because I really like him.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, what we're really seeing play out, right, is that all the rookie teams are the targets. And so if a rookie is paired with a vet, the strategy is basically, well, I don't have to worry about it because I know that I'm not going to get thrown in because I'm a little bit protected by my vet partner. And so it just seems as though the rookies are just very much, if they have a vet partner, they feel safe, at least in the short term. But they're not thinking long-term. And I think that that's what Coriel's frustration is like, hey, I get it. You're protecting yourself for these first few weeks. And to be fair, I mean, the challenge is pretty unique in the structure of this show, right? If you are a rookie, and chances are you're not going to win the season unless you're Amber B. So if I was a rookie as well, I might enact this strategy of, okay, I just need screen time. Like, if I'm going to be on for 4 weeks, yeah, I don't feel good about my chances after 8 weeks. But if I can get 5 weeks in and not paint a target on myself, I get screen time, and then I have a better chance of MTV calling me to come back for another season. So I feel like that's a big dynamic that's at play too.
You know who's someone who's doing that is Michelle. I think Michelle is doing great at exactly what you're saying. Michelle is not going to win, but Michelle is giving herself airtime every episode. She's flirting with all the boys. She's strategizing. I think she's doing great.
Oh, she's doing great, but I do not want you to lessen her chances of winning, because I feel like she could go up to toe-to-toe with any of these girls. I mean, I love me some Mish.
I love me some Mish too. She's like becoming like one of my favorite Survivor players of all time. I think she's better than the editor on Survivor. Like, she's great.
I mean, no one can take the Parvati spot. Parvati's number one. Sorry, but
yeah. Did you hear the tea on Parvati?
No.
Her and John Fincher got in a divorce.
Ooh.
I know. She's single.
Well, I guess it's time for me to go straight again, Josh, because...
Bring her back, America! Bring her back! Let's have the flirty Parvati again!
Parvati and Doug. Match made in heaven.
I'm here for it. I am here for it. I love Parvati. She's great. She can live rent-free in my mind forever as well. So, but so can Michelle. And speaking of Michelle, she's now flirting on Sexy Emmanuel, which I'm here for, because Emmanuel is sexy AF. We love Emmanuel.
I am here for that. Yes, that is sexy and hot, and yes, go Michelle, go get it, girl.
I know, and Ben, I'm really broken up over the Parvati one too. Made me sad. Made me sad. But yeah, okay, but like here for Michelle and Emmanuel though, because you know that they totally hook up. I mean, obviously they don't show. Everyone hooks up on the challenge, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, about that, yeah, just a little bit. That's like the vibe I get. They're all hooking up. Good for them. Good for them. Okay, with that said, we're getting into the challenge. Yes.
This crazy challenge that was not the best for everyone's health and well-being.
It was not good for people's health. Sea Cave Recon is what they called it.
Raccoon? I think it's Sea Cave Recon, but
Recon. Oh well, I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
It's okay, Josh. It's okay. But yeah, so basically they have to swim in a cave, dive down and get 2 bombs, swim back.
I know.
Interesting part. So I did listen to the aftermath this week.
Yeah.
And actually it was on Michelle. I think Michelle tweeted this, that the times that they finished in, as soon as they got to the jet ski, the time basically stopped. And then the time picked back up again after they released from the jet ski, which makes sense because you can't really control how fast the jet ski is going or the route of the jet ski.
Yeah.
So that explains why. And I can show you, I mean, we didn't really get time, so we don't know.
We have a couple of funny comments though first. Stevens is really funny too. 2 bloody noses and a naked man gets a concussion all in one episode.
So one hell of a challenge.
Yeah, like,
right?
Doug, how can that be a boring episode? You get naked Tommy, you get bloody Michelle. Like, how can that be a bad episode?
I mean, those moments were good, but the whole arc of the episode, I need a little bit of an arc, a little bit of an intrigue, a little bit of a story, there just really wasn't much there for me this episode, and I felt like the elimination was kind of just
here for it. Okay.
Yeah, but yes, so the time, that's why there were only a second separated between Coriel and Michelle and Ed and Tori in the end. But yeah, let's get into some of the, so I put the pairings, because basically, right, we see 2 teams go against each other, and we can tell which team finished first out of those 2 teams, but we really don't have an idea of what their times were and how they ranked. So I just kind of threw this together. These were the pairings as they went. Jeremiah and Tasha obviously got DQ'd, so that's why they were in red. And then Ed and Tori taking it. But yeah, let's start with that Huey Ashley moment. Did you think that Huey was going to do it?
Oh, I knew that he was going to do it, but he was having like a full-on panic attack because he's scared of heights. They are like the most hot mess team I've ever seen, ever. Like, Huey's very like old school challenge. Like, Huey and Ashley are very campy. That's how like the challenge used to be when it started. And I'm here for it. I'm here for camp. And And it's fun. And Ashley hates him. Like, oh, she loves him, but she hates him. She's like, I cannot have him as my partner. She's a former winner. She's won this thing like what, twice?
Maybe twice.
Regardless, she's a champion. Like, she doesn't want some like partner who won't even jump off a cliff. Like, come on. She's like, what did y'all do here? What is with this? You know?
I was just loving Huey's accent during the whole thing.
I love
and
it.
I've never had a panic attack to where I puked. Like that's interesting. That whatever triggers inside of you, you know, you're terrified enough to start puking. And yes, Dolores, I agree. Did he know what he was signing up for? Like, he knew that he was going to have to jump, like, deal with heights and deal with jumping and deal with swimming. Like, this is a very typical challenge. Like, it's not out of the ordinary.
Yeah, like, Huey, come on, dude. Like, come on.
Get it together.
Get it together, girl.
To his credit, I honestly didn't think that he was going to even do it. So, to his credit, he finished it.
He did.
And not only that, Ashley was the one slowing down Huey. Let's not get it twisted here, because Huey actually ended up doing better than what Ashley was. So for all the shit that she was talking, you got to kind of back it up, girl, because
Huey
still outperformed you after puking.
Yeah, they could potentially won. Well, I don't think they would have won that one. Let's get real. They were probably like the last place in, you know. Wasn't so good. But like, it would have been cute if they won. Wouldn't it have been funny, like a gag, if they won, the two of them?
I'm ready for them to win some week, but we'll see. It has to be the right challenge for sure. I don't know what it would have been like if
Brittany won HOH on Big Brother. Like, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what Ashley and Huey's wheelhouse is. I think it's a very small house of wheels. Yeah, but there has to be something that's in their wheelhouse.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, one thing I got to mention is we had a lot of nudity. Like, we got to see CT's ass. We don't even have to go in order. I just want to talk about the nudity really quick, because
let's do it. Let's talk about the nudity, girl.
We had two hotties getting naked. We had CT's ass, which we've seen CT blurred a lot of times on the show. He's, you know, been on the show for a long time. He is a beautiful man. We all know this. He's got a good body. Depending on what season he comes back, but you know, depends on the season with CT. Sure. We've seen all sides of CT. We've seen all 12 seasons of CT. But we got him. We got Tommy. What did you like more, CT or Tommy during this on the blurred section?
I liked CT better because he was fully conscious the entire time.
Yeah, Tommy wasn't so conscious though. Like Tommy.
Oh my gosh, that was scary.
I can't say he was hot when he was like had a concussion 5 seconds later. It was like 2-second things. Like I have to separate them though because it was really hot and I do like a ginger man. I was like, ooh, okay, and they're commenting that it's nice and noticeable. I'm like all here for that. And then he passes out. And I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Like he's passed out now. He has concussion. Like what's going on? I'm going to hell.
No, I mean all of the cast. That's what I was living for. Was watching everybody else on the beach watching naked Tommy. Like just that was a moment, and I was. Yeah, just because he was so oblivious that he was naked. I mean, now we know why, but like, it was just so funny because he had no idea what was going on.
Is it like, because he obviously gets a concussion, spoiler alert, but is it because of how he hit the water that gave him the concussion?
I assume so.
That's scary.
I mean, he could have been washed up against the side of the cave. I don't really know what did it, but I mean, yeah, this challenge was kind of scary. And yeah. Now it was, and so first we see Michelle bleeding, and she has to see the medic. And survivors aren't doing too well.
We have Michelle with the bloody nose. Who was it? Was it Tori? Someone was like, Michelle has a bloody nose. Michelle's a big threat. I'm like, okay, Michelle.
Yeah, like you didn't know that she was a badass before she had a bloody nose.
Like, come on, she has a bloody nose. She's your biggest threat now of all the newbies because she was bleeding. Like, get your life. I'll cut my nose right now and start having a bloody nose. Does that mean I'm a big threat to you?
Maybe.
Like,
can we also talk about?
It was Tori.
Can we also talk about Tasha and Jeremiah? Because
let's talk about it.
Tasha was legit like trying to like dunk Jeremiah under the water.
Yeah, almost that.
I was like, at first I thought that Tasha was like using some sort of strategy to like hold back Corey and like try to get him like to try to slow down Corey, because it was Tasha and Jeremiah against Corey and Bettina. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that this could be like a physical challenge. And then I was like, oh no, that's her own teammate. That is Jeremiah that she just is like trying to hold on to. And Jeremiah was just like, hey, get off me, woman.
Girl, like why was she like doing that? That made no sense. Maybe she misunderstood the assignment.
No, I think she was like trying to hold on to Jeremiah, like thinking that Jeremiah could just like drag her along and like just swim and just carry the both of them, which I think was what was happening. But
okay, so Ben has a comment. Tasha's not good at swimming. Queen Shell was teaching her how to swim. There you go.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there. I think that was smart for them to just bow out of that challenge. Although I will say, the structure of these daily challenges, there's really no incentive. If you're not getting first, like, what's the point? Like, that's what I don't really like about the design of these challenges. Is I feel like there should be some sort of penalty to get to being in the bottom.
Or I think the top 3 teams should be completely safe.
Yeah, I think there should be a little bit more incentive at the top, and I think there
one
should be
one team out of like 17 teams is going to be safe. Like, I don't think that's fair. I think that there should be like 5 teams up for elimination. That would make it, I think, more fair to this newbies versus vets thing. I think it's almost unfair because the vets are winning, because the vets know how to win these things. I don't think it's as fair. I think they need to change it up, make it more fair, and have like save in the bottom 5 teams are up for elimination.
I agree. And then as you get later into the season, maybe it's only the bottom 3 teams or maybe, but when you have this many teams, I agree. There's no penalty for doing that poorly. So what's my motivation if I know that I'm not a good swimmer? Why am I even doing the challenge at all? Like doing the daily challenge, I would just bow out because what's in it for me?
Oh, for sure. Wait, are there who else like during the challenge? I feel like there's another thing where we forgot to mention, like challenge wise. Like, did we talk about everyone during their challenge, like who killed it? Like,
the only other note I have is that Anissa was looking beautiful in her confessional look. So we should speak about that because I mean, Anissa's always beautiful, but especially I wrote that down as a note. I think that we pretty much covered it. Apparently, Josh and Amber B also did pretty well. They were thinking that they might be towards the top, but that didn't happen.
I love Amber. I'm like here for it. Amber's made like such a comeback since her Big Brother days. Like, I think this is like well deserved for Amber.
I agree, Sam. I do think the top 3 teams should be safe. And I think that there should be some. I like your suggestion, Josh, of like the bottom 5 being the ones that are eligible for elimination.
Yeah, I think that they should.
It puts more into the actual challenge. My complaints of like this was when you get a montage and you just like yada yada through like half of the challengers. Like I felt like they were just like showing them, but you knew that they weren't going to win, right? Like Festine, Esther, and Nelson and Priscilla, right? They just showed them compete, but they didn't have any commentary. They didn't do anything. So it's just like, why am I watching this? Like, there's no intrigue at all. That just kind of adds to the boredom of it to me.
Love that. Oh, okay. So you know what's something that actually gagged me? Corey, Ella, Michelle getting second in that challenge.
They were so close. And that's what I was saying about the time, because even we couldn't fully understand just like by watching when they put the bombs in, because it depends on how fast their jet skis were going. So they subtracted that jet ski time out of their overall times. So even though we saw Coriel and Michelle finish technically after Ed and Tori, and I just, they were so close. And again, they would have changed the entire trajectory of the season and this episode and the deliberations and everything. And I just wish that we could have gotten that moment, but we didn't.
I know. I'm here for it, but like, I don't know. What would have happened? Like, if they would have won, who do you think they would have sent?
I honestly have no idea. But I do think that Michelle especially would have played that correctly to establish some alliances and use that power to protect herself going forward.
Yeah.
So that would have been a really good opportunity for her, because I know that she would have taken advantage of that opportunity and aligned herself with at least a few people. I don't know if she would have. I don't know. I don't know if she would have went after another rookie team. That's very interesting, and I don't know what the right move would be for Michelle and Coriel in that moment, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I think maybe going after CT and Berna would be not a bad idea, because I do think that the vets are still scared of CT because of how much of a threat he is.
Yeah, well, the vets now are like the Big Brother players. Truthfully, the vets now are like Josh and Vesey. That's who the vets are. It's so weird to me. I thought the vets were like Johnny Bananas and Wes and CT. Those are the real vets.
Yeah.
Maybe Anissa. Like, if you were on Real World or Road Rules and you're still there, that's a vet.
Yes.
If you are coming from Big Brother or like Son of the Beach or
the Beach.
Paradise Hotel or like Love Ireland, whatever it is.
What about the 12 dates of Christmas?
Huh?
What about the 12 dates of Christmas?
12 days of Christmas, the 8 days of Hanukkah, whatever it is.
I can't believe I said the word Christmas in front of you, Josh. I know that's a trigger word for you.
I don't know, but I know I'm Jewish, but I do like the holiday.
No, I was speaking of the certain Big Brother contestant that just happens to have.
We don't talk about her. She's Voldemort.
I know how much you love her.
Sam, they have different levels of vets, but I said CT is untouchable. CT is like the Sandra or Tony of the show. No, that's more like Johnny Bananas, though, right? Johnny Bananas is the big name, isn't he?
Yeah, I feel like though CT is coming for that crown. I think, especially because Johnny hasn't been on the last few.
Is Johnny done? Like, is he retired?
I don't know. Probably not. I'm sure, unfortunately, we'll have to see his demeanor again, but, you know.
I mean, if he's retired, then, hey, we'll never see him again. Watch him in the past if you want to see Johnny. But most people don't.
So I think this covers the
challenge,
the daily challenge, and then we get back to the house.
Let's talk about the house. What do we have next? Well, our winners, obviously, were bringing up who was the winner.
The winner were Tori and Ed.
Tori and Ed, yeah. I'm sorry, I lost.
Then we get back to the house.
Yes.
And Tommy comes in.
Yes.
And has to tell everybody that he's leaving because he has a concussion. So.
Yes, which is like shocking to me. I mean, like, I'm really sad that he had to leave. It made me sad.
Yeah, and also poor Michelle. She first loses Michaela, now loses Tommy. Like, those were her closest allies for sure coming into the game, and like just the people that she could talk game with and she loses both of them within the first 3 weeks, which is tough.
So Big T is like by herself without her partner, feeling vulnerable as ever. Like, Big T is in danger, girl. Big T is in danger, girl, because like you got nobody. You were just sitting there like, she's going soon, probably.
I was feeling so bad for Big T in this episode. I was just like, can one person be Big T's friend? Like, where's Big T's friend? And also, I feel like CT and Big T had ups and downs last season, but I just really felt that Big T was on her own little island here, and it was a very lonely, sad island, and I was just like sad for Big T because I like Big T.
Let me address this question. Yes, Ashley's a vet. She was from the real world. Ashley is a true vet for this game. She is now vet point. She's been in a lot of seasons. She's won a couple times. Ashley's a vet. But like somebody who's been on the show for like last 2 or 3 seasons, it's not even from the real world or Road Rules. Like, that's, to me, like, they're like a new school vet. They're not an actual vet. They're not going to be asked to be on the All-Star Challenge. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to be asked to be on the All-Star Challenge, you're not a vet to this game, in my opinion. But
there you go.
That's okay, so next, we had Tommy's whole thing with Tommy's now out of the game. We have Ed's saying he's going to let Tori do all the work. He's going to sit back, twirl his thumbs, and let Tori do all the thing because he wants to stay low because he is still a newbie. Good strategy. And then we have Tori wanting to target Big T. She thinks she doesn't know if it's the right move, but if she does target Big T, it's going to get a lot of people pissed at her because Big T is technically a vet. She's not a newbie.
Yes. So we get this conversation. I think it's just Tori, Anissa, and Devin. And Tori brings up the fact that there are 14 rookies and 14 vets. And so that they have even numbers. But again, the rookie teams are the real ones that are in danger. And Devin starts saying, though, that his two biggest threats, or that he's worried about, Emmanuel and Berna. This is kind of the first time that we hear their names in real context. I mean, we've heard Berna be a potential because of her relationship with Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was interesting. And Devin bringing up Emmanuel's name as well, I thought was interesting. But then we pretty much go right into nominations, I think.
Yeah, exactly. We go right into it. And with it, like there's a deliberation session. Tell me, Doug, what are the main things that happen during deliberation?
So I was very curious to see where deliberation was going to go. Going into it, I thought maybe they'll just do the easy thing and put Michelle and Coriel back in. So I wasn't quite sure if they would go after Tasha and Jeremiah. But it made sense. And I think especially, though, being DQ'd in the challenge, I do think hurt them. And I think that Jeremiah is still kind of a threat. They're still a very strong team.
Yeah.
But we get into the deliberation and Tasha and Jeremiah don't do anything to get the target off of them. They basically are like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Like I can go back in. But that, I feel confident I'm going to come back, but I'm ready to go down.
But Big T does get called out bad by Tori. Like Tori calls her out.
Which I don't feel like was needed. I agree. Yeah. I think it was it Amanda who maybe gave a confessional that was like talking about, or it was Casey. Casey said that she didn't like Tori coming after Big T.
Yeah.
This is Casey's been pretty quiet this season. We haven't gotten much from Casey, and Casey was pretty silent at the beginning of last season too, to be honest.
And then Casey just comes out of nowhere and just knows how. That's how Casey does it, though. I mean, she is a former winner of Big Brother, so
yeah, she's smart, and she allows her athleticism, I think, to.
She probably will not be highlighted in our thumbnails for a while.
No, I don't think so. I definitely don't think so. But yeah, Josh tells Big T that she should speak. And then there's that little interaction between Tori and Big T, but in the end. It's Tasha and Jeremiah. So, and they do, but Tasha and Jeremiah, when they say a name, they go after Michelle and Coriel, which is rookie on rookie versus rookie on rookie, which is just like, I get it. You don't want to stir the boat or, whatever, rock the boat, but it's just frustrating for sure.
Casey the dusty couch. I don't understand that. Do you understand that?
Just that she's boring.
Oh, okay, yeah. Casey boring. Yeah, well, we all knew that. Okay, so like it comes up like it's between a few people for like who Tori and Ed are gonna put in at the end of the day. But the funny thing is Tori actually went and asked Jeremiah and Tasha who they would put up. She's like, you know what, guys, I don't want you guys to go home. Who would you guys put up? And Tasha tells her Queen Mish. And I'm like, Tasha, don't come for my other queen, you queen. This is not the Battle of the Queens. This is not the Game of Thrones here. Why are you coming after Mish?
Yeah. I did not think that this moment, as it happened, was going to turn into such a big thing. Because even when they replayed it, you see that Tori does a pretty good job of saying, like, hey, I would just like to know who you would like to throw in. I can't promise you that I would be able to do that, but like, if I can, I just want to know. And I'm kind of siding on Tori's behalf on this one because And she was just like coming to them, knowing that she just threw them in, asking like who they would like to go against. And she didn't promise and by any means that she was going to use their suggestions. So, but Tasha has a much different interpretation of how that went because she is not happy.
Oh, very, very true.
Oh, I do have the votes here. Before we go on to the elimination, do you want to show? So the after show gives us the votes of who everyone voted for in the deliberation.
Ooh, we got a lot of people that voted for Tasha and Jeremiah.
Yes.
Wow.
The rest of these votes are interesting. Big T voting for herself. And a lot of teams, and a lot of these I think are throwaway votes, but I don't really understand why you're throwing away your vote, because especially if it's not shown or nobody knows who you voted for, why does it really matter if you're throwing your vote away? Like if you're Fessy, why are you voting for your own team? Huey voting for his own team.
Like a lot of the internationals voted randomly.
Yeah, so really I don't know. These votes are odd to me.
Yeah. Why would Fessy vote for his own team?
I mean, it's clearly just a throwaway vote because he knows he's not going in. But again, well, why are you throwing away your vote? It doesn't really matter. And again, I mean, obviously the large majority was voting for Tasha and Jeremiah anyways. But
I'm not here for that.
I thought this was interesting. Priscilla throwing a vote on Amber and Josh randomly. Jeremiah throwing a vote on Anissa and Logan. It's just very, very odd.
For sure.
I think these will get more interesting as the season goes on, and there might be a little bit closer of a vote. But yeah, I was confused by some of these.
All right, yeah. Oh, by the way, someone mentioned Gabo. I think Gabo is so sexy.
Yes, 100.
He's delicious.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much that.
Gabo, Gabo, Gabo. He's like a walking Thanksgiving. Okay.
I am dead.
All right. Yeah. So that's the voting results. Basically, I'm a little surprised by it, but Tasha and Jeremiah, we get to who they put in, and they end up putting in. Hold on, why am I brain farting? Let me say it. They end up putting in Berna and Coriel.
Yes.
And I'm like, why are you putting in Coriel? No, ma'am, don't put in my Corey. But because Tommy was evacuated for being beastly sexy and having a concussion, we have the men, Corey, Ellen, Jeremiah, are asked to go take a seat. They don't have to fight. So it's just a woman's elimination challenge.
Yeah, that was a little dirty, I feel like, by TJ or production or whoever that made Tori and Ed pick a guy to go down there, and then like production and TJ knew that guy wasn't going to have to compete. Like the only point of putting him down there was to have to make the agency show their cards of who they would pick, and so that does kind of suck. And like so now Coriel obviously doesn't like Tori, and so then and then Tasha becomes very pissed because Berna's thrown down there, and that's not who she wants to go after. She wanted to go after Michelle.
So we have Berna, the circus girl, from Survivor Turkey, versus Queen Tasha of Big Brother Nigeria. And they're up against each other in the Battle of the Polls, honey. The Battle of the Polls. So I don't even know how to explain this. No. But they have all these like loosey-goosey polls, and they have to put the polls up, and whoever has all their polls put up and gets to the top and rings the bell wins this elimination challenge.
Josh, I don't know why, but I like it when you say the word polls.
Thank you.
I feel like you use that probably in your vocabulary.
I mean, I'd probably bring a poll down with me, but... I
mean, we know you like Tommy's poll.
I do like Tommy's poll. I do. I also like Chris Underwood from Survivor Edge of Extinction's poll too, but we'll just say that. Anyways, next, let's keep going.
So the elimination, I thought that this looked like very difficult. I would not have wanted to do this elimination challenge. Like, it was also kind of scary. Like, you get out there, you don't have your footing, and then you just crash it all down. You have to start all over again. I would be very frustrated throughout this entire thing. By watching the after show, I know that they said that the elimination lasted for an hour. So they were out there putting them polls, trying to get up that damn ladder for an hour before Berna finally wins. So yeah, this was, I think, a kind of a back and forth kind of thing. Neither girl could really get the footing and the rhythm of it. And then Berna just like finally just like tunes out everything and is like, okay, I got to get in the zone. I'm winning this bitch. Everybody shut up. I'm doing it.
Oh.
And she does. So good for Berna.
Steps it together and takes down Tasha. And Tasha's
I'm so sad that we lost Tasha. I feel like she really, she represented very well. I liked the, this was a close challenge. Like I said, it was an hour long.
Do you think she'll get brought back?
I don't know.
I think you really got to stand out. I think the only one like of these newbies that I see, I think Emmanuel could get brought back. People love Emmanuel, and I think Michelle will get brought back.
If they do like any other like season where you have to be paired with like somebody you hate, like Battle of the Exes or something like that, I mean, I could see them using the storyline against Tori, and like maybe she could come back and she has to work with Tori in some means. Like that could be a good storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, rivals. Yeah, that could happen.
Michaela definitely is going to come back. No question.
Michaela better come back for sure.
Oh yeah, Emmy. Yeah, there's a few people. Like Emmy and Michaela are both good ones too. So even Huey they might bring back.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see how the rest of the season plays out with those characters. But again, the longer that you're in the season, the more camera time you get, the better your chances are of getting that call. So,
absolutely.
Nelson, of course, was beside himself during this elimination, wanting his baby girl Berna to come back. But I was kind of creeped out a little bit by Nelson saying that Daddy was waiting and was waiting for Berna. At that moment, I was like, this is a little awkward. But yeah, Tasha has some words for Tori on her way out. And again, I didn't really think that moment was that big. They do, okay. So in the after show, I didn't fully follow this, but apparently Tori, in the very first challenge, Tori gave Tasha a sledgehammer and like tried to convince Tasha to help like her team destroy the cinder blocks. Okay. And was like trying to like lead her on that like she should just help Tori. And so from the very beginning, Tasha didn't like Tori because of that moment. So that was a little bit of context that was spilled in the aftermath. But yeah, that was interesting. And so yeah, we get one new team. I didn't even put together a slide of the new teams because we only get one new team.
We only get one. It's Big T and who's Big T with?
Jeremiah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Big T and Jeremiah, and I'm wondering. So Josh, do you think Big T and Jeremiah are bigger threats, or will go in before they throw in Coriel and Michelle?
I don't know. I feel like, that's a good one. It's going to depend. I think one of those two teams is going to be screwed next episode. One of those two teams is going home next episode, or like at least going into elimination. And I think the other one has a chance of maybe going a little bit farther. So I'm going to put my money that Coriel and Michelle go farther. And
I think that they'll definitely go farther. Yeah. I don't have high hopes. I mean, I have high hopes, but unfortunately, something's got to change. I think it would have been good if Coriel could go down because then he could have paired himself. The one benefit of going down if you win is you get to infiltrate and pick a new partner, and that could have taken the target off of his back a little bit because he could have paired himself with well, he couldn't with Tori because she just won. But he could have paired himself with like a Nisa or one of these vets that's very integrated into the game and protected himself a bit. But staying with Michelle, they're going to be a target for a while because they're strong and they're both rookies. So unfortunately, they're going to get thrown in within the next few weeks for sure, unless they can win. The other thing that was in the aftermath was Amanda said that if Tori threw Big T in, the vets would have turned on Tori and threw her in next week for sure.
You're right. I think someone's going to turn on Big T. It shouldn't. Yeah, someone's going to do it eventually. I think Big T's going to go early. I get the vibe.
Yeah, they just don't trust her, which she didn't really do too much this episode to make them trust her either. She didn't really defend herself or try to align with people. I still feel like she is kind of on that island of herself.
Yeah.
And then, and Tasha says she hasn't talked to Tori since the show ended. So that I don't think is going to be a friendship of any kind.
For it. Love that. But yeah, like that's mainly the episode, right? I mean, was there anything else we're missing? I feel like that's everything.
Oh, I did. Even so, not only did this episode feel like it was kind of slow and boring, I did put together the music. There were only 2 songs that we really got. I mean, we got a nice Nicki Minaj moment.
Give me some Nicki. Nicki's better song.
We gotta have a nice Nicki moment, right? And I like that second song too. I never heard it before, but I might add it to my Spotify playlist. I thought it was
but Nicki Minaj slayed it. I mean,
obviously.
It's all good. But yeah, those are our songs. And that really, I mean, that concludes it today. And for an episode you didn't like so much, we talked about it for 15 minutes, dogs. It couldn't have been that bad.
You know, as we're couch potato queens, we can always gab for as long as we're given time. I mean, let's be honest. I'll talk to you any day, Josh.
Doug, tell our viewers where they can find you on social media.
I am on Twitter and Instagram at Dofurg, DOFURG. Yeah, that's where I'm at. And I will be looking forward to the Big Brother episode. Are we going to get a live new HOH tonight?
I think so. I hope so. We'll see.
Are there any progressions? Can you give me? Is it still Derek X going home?
It's so the same right now. It's kind of like a steamroll right now. It's what it's looking like. It's going to be a steamroll to the end until the final.
Fuck you, Sarah Beth.
It looks. I know. What is? Wait, ready? Let's say it. Fuck you, Sarah Beth. What was the rest of it?
I said what I said.
Fuck you, Sarah Beth. I said what I said. Fuck you, Sarah Beth. I said what I said. I could say that all day. It's iconic, and it is now like a meme. It's like a remix. Oh my God. She's going to leave the house, and she's going to be crying in laughter when she, as in Tiffany, created a rap. It's great. Fuck you, Sarah Beth. I said what I said. Okay, we're done. Okay.
I think that's what it was. I hope I got that correctly. I don't even remember if that was the right word.
I think that's it. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mendels8. That's MENDELS and the number 8. You can follow the Couch Potato Queens on Twitter at Couch Potato Queens. It's Couch Potato QWNZ. Or on Instagram, that's Couch Potato Queens, QUEENS. Please subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribing. We are looking for subscribers. We want them. We want them badly. Y'all, we're like 250 away from 1,000. We need to have our party, so come and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribing.
Yes, please.
Okay. But yeah, that's basically it. Don't let anyone steal your sparkle. We love you guys. We're going to be back in about an hour and 20 minutes after the eviction show. Me, Alex, and Vizon tonight too. So It's going to be fun. We will see you there after the eviction episode at 9. Take care, guys.
See ya.